guys, welcome to Samantha's Kitchen. Today we are recreating one of Britain's classic pasties, and we are going to make a plant-based version of the GREGGS cheese and onion pasty, but I'm also going to do one of my own, which I am going to add some tomato and vegan ham. For those that can't get that, you can just add the tomato, or you can mix it up, put olives in, anything you want. So the ingredients that we will need for today are as follows. I have got some puff pastry here ready to roll, and the beauty about this is just check on the back and just make sure it says vegan. But yeah, this is dead easy to use, and you will recreate so many of the classic pasties and tartlets, and you can do anything with it. You can make your own sausage rolls, you name it. It's amazing product, dead easy to use. So yeah, we're going to use that. Then we need some vegan ham. I am using the smoky ham free slices from Quorn. As I say, if you don't like it or you've got allergy to it or anything like that, you don't need to put this in. This is for the one that I'm going to make. Then we will need some vegan cheese slices. So you can use any cheese that you want to use. You can use Applewood plant-based cheese. You can use the grated version of this. You could even try one with feta and spinach. So I am using these cheese slices today because I think that the size of the slice is perfect in terms of quantity in the pasty. Then you will need a medium onion, and I've just got here 2 small tomatoes. So let's get cooking. So as you can see, I've just chopped half the onion. Depending upon how many you're making, you'll need the full onion, but I'm only going to make a few today. So I've cut the onion reasonably small, and what we're going to do is we're going to fry this onion a little bit before we put it into the pasty. I've also, for the other one, for the ham and tomato and cheese pasty, I've shredded the Quorn ham, and I've also just roughly chopped the tomato, and I've just broken up the Violife cheese slices. There's 2 slices there. You won't really need any more than that because there's not actually a lot of filling in a pasty, because if you put too much filling in, it bursts out. So we're going to fry these now for about 5 minutes only. You don't need to cook them until they're brown or anything like that. They just need to start to go translucent. I'm just gonna spray a little bit of olive oil into the pan, not much. I'm just using this olive oil spray for cooking, and we're gonna add the onions in now. As I say, we don't need them really brown, we just need them just so they're starting to go translucent. While you're doing this, it's time to put your oven on, because we want the oven nice and hot, ready for our pasties to go in. So I'm going to put my oven on 180, and I'll let that get nice and hot, and then we should be ready then to put our pasties in the oven. Okay, I just wanted to show you the onions. I've just cooked them now for about 5 minutes, and they don't need to be brown or anything like that. It just takes that the strength of the onion away. You don't need a really strong onion in a cheese and onion pasty. You just need that flavour. And what that'll do now is it'll all cook in with the cheese and be amazing. Okay, so I have floured my surface, and I have broken open the puff pastry. We're not going to need all this puff pastry because we're making 2 pasties today. So I want you to cut some puff pastry off like so, and what we're going to do is now we're going to roll it to a pastry size. and you're going to make it about 4 millimeters in thickness. And when you think you're recreating a GREGGS pasty, so the GREGGS pasties are typically rectangular, so that is the kind of shape that we'll want to go for. And what we do essentially, we'll put the filling in and we'll close it up like this. So I'm going to just roll this out now, just to make sure we've got enough. And you can make a pasty as big and as small as you want, but this is the kind of thickness you're wanting, maybe about 4 centimeters. And what we'll do now is we'll just make it nice and neat, and we'll get rid of those edges like so, just to make it nice and neat. And then we will make our first pasty. So we'll cover that, we'll put that here like so, and we will add our onion. So we've got our onion here, and what you do is you put it at one side. Don't put it in the middle, put it at the side of the pasty, and you need a good inch around, because you don't want any of the ingredients to come out at either side, so you need about an inch around, maybe a little bit less but not much. And then we'll add our cheese, and so the cheese will just go on like so, and the cheese will melt, and I'm using the equivalent of 1 slice of cheese, so it's dead easy to remember, and leave an inch all the way around. Now what we'll need to close is we'll need a little bit of plant-based milk to brush those edges with. So I've got my plant-based milk, and it doesn't matter if you don't have a brush or anything like that, because a spoon just works as well. Just put a little bit on your spoon like this, and just put it all the way around like so on your pasty. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't matter if you put on loads, don't worry about it. It's all about recreating and cooking and just making it and just giving it a go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fold this over like so, and then we're going to crimp these edges. So I'm just going to push down like this with 2 fingers like so, and I'll do it all the way around. And you just want to create a seal essentially, so it doesn't break through when it's cooking. So we'll go all the way around like so. And most importantly, you need to put air holes in them, so when pasties cook, they'll expand inside, and you don't want that filling to burst out. So we'll just put a little air hole in like that, and this is ready to put on a baking tray to cook. So we'll get on with the other pasty now. Okay, so same again. I've cut about 2.5 inches by about an inch, and we're going to do the same. You can actually recreate any kind of shape you want. I'm doing the traditional GREGGS version, which is the rectangles, but you can create anything you want. You can do triangles, which would be a diamond, and then you'd fold it over. You can do circular ones to make a half moon pasty. You can roll this pastry any which way you want, and it'll be just fine, and it'll just work really well. So we'll just neaten up those edges a little bit now, and then we can add in our other ingredients. So always remember, use one side. So we're going to put 2 pieces of cheese at the bottom, because we've got tomato in here, and we don't want the tomato to get wet the pastry. We want it to cook, not soak the pastry before. So we're going to add our tomato here, and then we're going to put our ham on, like so. It's so easy, so quick and so simple to make these. You can also freeze them as well. You don't have to worry about you know, them going off or anything like that, because it's a pasty, so you can freeze it, you can do anything like that. Now what we'll do is we'll add our other 2 cheeses at the top, making sure that we leave an inch, and then we will put some milk around it again, like so, just so we can seal the edge like this. And then we will put this over like so, and then I'm going to crimp it. You can do the same. I'm going to crimp it like this so I can tell the difference, and I'm just bunching the edges together so we can tell the difference. You can also put in 2 air pockets for it to tell the difference of your pasties, or as I say, make any shape you want. So I've crimped it this way, and I'm just going to put an air roll here and an air roll here as well, so I can tell the difference. Now these are going to be ready now to go into the oven, and they're on 180, and we're going to check back on them in about 15 minutes. So I'll get these in the oven now. So here's a tip: if you don't want to use all your pastry, or you have some pastry left over, this pastry is perfect to freeze. So I'm going to freeze the rest of this, and this little bit left over, I am going to make a mini jam pasty with it. So I can show you guys what I do with that little leftover piece. But yeah, it can be frozen, and when you want to use it again, just get it out in the morning, give it a couple of hours to defrost, and then you'll be ready to go to make more of anything you want it to make. So as you can see, I've just rolled it out into any old way that I've wanted, and I'm just going to put a tiny bit of jam here. You don't need loads, just a tiny bit. Any jam of your choosing, and we'll just put a little bit of seal around it, which is our plant-based milk, and then we'll pull this over like this, and we can just neaten those edges, and we've put them over like so, just to make it into a little bit more of a presentable looking pastry. And I'm just gonna do the technique that I showed you on the cheese and onion one, like this. And most importantly, make sure you put a small air roll in here, and this will go in as well, and we'll come back when they are done. Okay, they've had about 16 minutes now, and they are ready. So I'm going to turn the oven off now. You'll be able to tell that your pasties are ready when they've got a nice colouring, not too dark, just nice. I'll get these out for you. Look at these. Ho ho ho! What? Oh, can you? Amazing, eh? You can't beat them. You can't beat them. It's one thing that GREGGS really need to do, and that is to actually make the cheese and onion GREGGS pasty. And as you can see here, I've just made the jam one as a sweet. So you can do anything with this pastry. There can be savoury, there can be sweet, you name it. I think it's time to serve. Let's open this cheese and onion GREGGS pasty and see what it's like. So, recreation of a GREGGS cheese and onion pasty, 100% plant-based, really simple to make, absolutely the most simplest thing you could ever do. Take them on picnics, freeze them, you can have them on their own, or you can have them with some beans, whatever. But let us break into this and see what it is like. Oh, I might need 2 hands for this. I do need 2 hands. Just hang on. You know what GREGGS are like. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, beautiful. Cooked to perfection. You can't beat it. GREGGS pasty, plant-based cheese and onion. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button. And stay safe everyone. Bye.